Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ohio State Call-In Show. I'm your co-host, Ryan Stano.
I'm Garrison Gaddy.
Well, Garrison, before we get started, just want to um, say hello to, thank all the members who have been able to donate to the channel. Everything that you guys are able to contribute, help us to bring you guys this content that we hope you like. And there's three different memberships. They will have them scroll here on the screen periodically throughout the show. Block O Club, JT wasn't sure, don't give a damn. All of these different platforms give you different levels of access to member exclusive content that we'll be bringing you and we have brought you, and that'll keep on ramping up through here the summer and into the fall. So just want to give a shout out to all the members, and if you do feel so inclined to join as a member, we appreciate that. But I'll go ahead and drop in the call-in link in here to the show for a second. And we have some good news to talk about here before we go ahead and start getting into some callers. Ohio State actually got a recruit for once. Ohio State was able to get their 2026 quarterback recruits. They got Luke Fehey, a four-star quarterback from the state of California. He's on the smaller side. He's only 6 foot, 185 pounds. But he's someone who Ohio State likes. This is a class where if you're going to get someone who is kind of on the lower rated side, now would be the time to do it, with Tavian St. Clair and Julian Saint already on the roster, and Brady Edmonds coming in next year. But Ryan Day likes to get a quarterback in every class, and now he's got one. So your thoughts on Fehey?
I like him. Now, we needed a quarterback in this class. I will always you have to get at least one quarterback in the class, and if you can, get an elite one, right? But I do think that I watched this film. No, I won't say this film. I watched this highlight tape, and I think he's a really good player. He reminds me of Russell Wilson, body size, about 6'1", 195 pounds, thicker built guy, basketball lacrosse player. But he's able to move around. He can run the ball. Could pass very well. If you watch his highlight tape, everybody, he's very, very, very accurate. Through 76% last season, 17 touchdowns, no interceptions. Didn't have the year that he had in 2023, where he led his team to a state title, Division I state title in the state of California, mind you. And also was the quarterback and teammate of now wide receiver Phillip Bell from last year's class. But I do like him. Of course, I think he's more of a, I hate saying this, but like a project player, someone you're going to bring in and you want him to develop there. But I do think that I believe he's a good addition to this class for what it is right now. And also the fact that we don't need, the quarterback spot for Ohio State right now for the next 4 or 5 years is set. So, and there's other classes we're going to have a chance to bring in quarterbacks. So, no, I'm happy about it. I'm glad he's a Buckeye.
Yeah, no, agreed. And like you said, it's not like this is a big need for the Buckeyes at this point. They're already pretty set at the quarterback position when it comes to future and current needs. Obviously, you hope Saint will start for the next couple of years. And you've got Tavian St. Clair, right behind him. And then you got Brady Edmonds coming in next year. He's also a 5-star recruit. So there's going to be a year where you get a quarterback kind of on the lower end of the recruiting rankings. Now would be the time to do it. So he committed earlier than what people were expecting also. That commit came in about 3 o'clock. He wasn't expected to make his announcement until 8 o'clock tonight. So I'm glad he was able to do that and give Buckeye fans something to cheer about. And before we go ahead and bring in our first caller, something else I wanted to talk to you about is tomorrow, because tomorrow is a big day when it comes to Ohio State recruiting. Couple big announcements. Jameer Perez, who we expect to be flipping from Florida to Ohio State. We don't know that for sure, but that seems like it's a done deal. That would give Ohio State even further depth on the defensive line, which God knows they need. And
right.
It is also the commitment day for Felix Ojo, the 5-star tackle. And they're both doing it on the 4th of July. It's actually Felix Ojo's birthday as well. So he's having a big old celebration for that. I just wanted to get your thoughts on both of those guys and the likelihood that Ohio State lands either one of them.
Felix Ojo, do I think Ohio State has a chance to get him? Yeah, sure, we have a chance. And that's about as far as I go. And I don't think it has anything to do with Ohio State. I don't think it has anything to do with offensive line coach Bowen or any of his assistants. And mind you, I think the old line class so far is pretty good. I think it's really good, honestly. You know, we got 2 top 130 recruits in that class right now in the offensive tackle position. But I do think, you know, when you add a guy like Felix Ojo, as we said before, you know, it's a critical piece that you can add to the class. Now, when it comes to KJ, you got to beat out Daddy Warbucks, and that's Texas A&M.
Yep.
I don't know because of how late Ohio State was in this class. If we are going to, if we have I think we have an honest chance of getting him. I just think that again, some of this might come down to bidding, and a lot of the money is already seen in our class. And it's not to say that Ohio State doesn't have the assets or the money to do so. I just don't think Ohio State is going to pay the number that some of these other programs have to pay, where Ohio State doesn't have to. On top of that, actually not on top of that, I mean, what I said, we're late in this. We're late. And it ain't like Texas A&M. I mean, Texas A&M has had some really good defensive linemen come out of there the last few years. Not to say that Ohio State hasn't, but they've been right there, I would say, with Ohio State. And then lastly, I don't know if Ohio State is honestly that high on the board, to be honest with you. I know we're in his final, like we're there in the final, right? Like we're almost at the finish line. But just because you're near the finish line, like I could be in first place and you can be in third. And if I'm still 3/10 ahead of you, I'm blowing you out the water. And I think that might would be between Texas A&M and Ohio State.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the key thing, like you mentioned, is they're late, and it's just kind of Larry Johnson trying to play catch up for not really putting in the effort to start the 2026 recruiting class. So we'll see. I'm not very bullish on their chances of landing Ojo either. I think that seems like that's going to be a Texas commitment. That seems to be a foregone conclusion. Perez, that should just be a formality at this point. He never should committed to Florida in the first place, honestly. I'm a little bit more optimistic about Ford than you are, but not much. I mean, Larry hasn't shown the ability to really kind of close the deal on these kinds of recruits. So we'll see what happens. You ready to go ahead and bring in our first caller?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Go ahead and bring them in.
Do I have to bring in? I got you. What's up, Juju? How you doing, bro?
What's good, bro?
Oh, it's like I can't even wait a second. Well, it's okay. You don't have your face here. What's up, bro? What's on your mind?
Hey, I heard you talking a little Ojo, little KJ, good old Larry.
Hey, is Michigan one of Ojo's finalists?
Oh no, we got 2 of the best tackles in the cycle. We're good. We hit our. Hey, look, it's sad that Turton is probably gonna go away, but we hit on our first choices on both tackles, so we're good in that aspect. But y'all,
we'll see if that lasts
Mr.
once the NCAA finally levels some punishments.
Oh my God. You're gonna take that route, right? Okay. All right. Hey, look, I would happily eat crow. Happily eat crow if that day comes, but I think that's wishful thinking. Anyway, Larry Johnson, Mr. Larry. And me and good old Garrison had a conversation about him off air. And Garrison, he finally hit the red button. After all this time, I've been waiting for you to hit the red button, and you did. So I would like you to explain even further why you hit the red button now.
Because I have no choice to. Again, I do put what did I say right around 65? I said 65, so I put 35% of the blame on the
Yep.
operation right now.
Yep. You said
But
65 on Larry.
yeah, okay. When you're paid $1.7 million, I can care less. And I've tried to give him many outs. I guess you could say. Well, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I've given him many outs. Try to rationalize things. Ryan calls it coping. I've tried to. I don't want to see the guy fail, but he's failing.
Neither one of us do, but it's
yeah.
it's too far gone.
And don't be wrong, Kerry Wilder, he's in this class. I like Kerry Wilder. I really like him. And to be honest with you, I like the other defensive linemen we have because they're big guys. Like for me personally, when it comes to offensive line and D line, I can give a damn if you're a 3-star guy. Are you big? Can you play the game? That I really care about that. But sometimes, bro, like if your girlfriend, right? If every day you wake up for how long has Larry been at Ohio State? 12 years, is it?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Okay.
I think it's either 2013 or
All right,
2014.
So let's say for like 10 years, your girlfriend wake up in the morning, or your wife, and you wake up with eggs, bacon, a ribeye for breakfast, every morning. And then like for some odd reason that next morning you wake up with cereal, and then the next morning you wake up with grits, and then the next morning you wake up with burnt toast. You're gonna get pissed off. Am I right or am I wrong? Like,
bro, you got some of the wildest analogies, but I'm rocking.
Yeah, I know. It's not that these guys can't play. We've got some really good players. Don't be wrong. We have Edric Houston on our team, but it's the fact. Yeah. The point is that when you no one is above reproach, and I will always say that for any coach, for anybody in life. And when I consistently see you underperform in a realm that we have seen you consistently be great at, I'm going to ask questions. Now, yes, Alan Clark is gone. That is someone you need. Yes, Ohio State needs assistance. Yes, Larry Johnson should be asking for that. Yes, Ryan Day should be giving that. But if it's not happening and I see you're the second highest paid coach on the team, where else am I supposed to look? So, yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree. Ryan, your thoughts on I think I know your thoughts, but I'll let you give them anyway.
Yeah, well, the deal is Ohio State's they're stuck with Larry for another year. That's just what it is. I think when this season started, it was pretty common knowledge that this was going to be his last year. Day is going to kick him out the door next year anyway. The issue is that they don't really have anyone to take up the mantle. Now that Alan Clark's at Texas, which was a big loss. So they're going to have to find someone next year, which is fine because right now the way Larry's recruiting, almost anyone is going to be an upgrade as far as a recruiter goes. He still can develop players, which is his saving grace. I mean, we saw Tyler Williams become a first-round pick, but he's 73 years old. It's time to go hang out with your grandkids, dude. Like, just go sip mojitos on the beach. Like,
right off in the
natties,
sunset.
like, rest on your laurels. That's right.
Okay, I mean, I'm just happy Garrison finally came around. It's been a long time coming.
I'm not fully there. Like, look, I'm there, but I'm not like
what.
No, hear me out. Because I still have to give some blame to the operation. Now, if I was going to say he's 100% guilty, I'm going to tell you what. I'll put it this way. If we miss out, and again, I can't predict flips, right? And I know Ryan, like on Monday when we talked, I mentioned that. But if we miss out on Ford, and even more so Deuce, which as of right now, man, I'm here to tell
that's
you.
what I want to talk to you about more so. I talked to you off air about.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I told you that there's birdies chirping, and I know you have a particular team down south, but I'm trying to tell you, this if we get Deuce, bro. Look,
Here's the deal. That it seems pretty evident at this point that Ohio State is content to use NIL money on retaining their current guys. That seems to be the strategy
Yeah.
that they're going with.
which is fine.
The report was that they spent, that they're spending about $35 million on their current roster, which is a lot of money. We talked Monday whether or not that's the right, the correct figure or not. But that seems to be where their priorities are. They're gonna spend their money on proven guys who they've seen in their system over recruits. Now the problem with that is, once 2 or 3 years go by, all of a sudden those guys are gone and you have to replace them with somebody. They've used the portal to fill in holes. That's not how they want to build their team, but they're going to have to start using NIL money on some of these bigger time recruits. But they're not going to spend, $1 to $2 million on just one guy. Like, they're just not going to do that. And I think they're trying to figure out, now that the NIL and the new NIL rules have officially taken effect on July 1, how everyone else is going to react now that they can't front load those NIL deals anymore. So I think they're kind of in a wait and see
USC.
pattern.
Exactly. You guys
That's
hear
right.
You guys hear a funny tweet I just read? This is from our community post in the Best in Media group space, or the Ohio State space or group. This guy says, "Did Larry smash your lady? You want to show us on the doll where he hurt you? You're going to be okay. I promise. We're here for you."
Bro, I mean, which is which is ironic that you bring that up, that you guys are spending on the current team, which I know for a fact that we spent on the current team, but it seems like the absolute reverse for us, as in we don't want to be portal heavy, and we're always going to bring defense, which we will bring defense linemen next year, losing 6 seniors, and offensive linemen. It's just the code that we always go through, but it seems like we are spending a lot more on recruits, and we believe in that we're going to develop these, and why go out in the portal and spend $1 million for a year when I can spend $1 million for a recruit for 3 to 4 years. So I think it's just interesting to see how different teams do this. And I know that you guys spent a lot of money this year on the actual team, which there's nothing wrong with that, like, at all. We spent a shit ton on linebackers coming back, and that's why it's taking kind of a hit in recruiting. So I completely understand that. But I just wanted to get up here and talk a little Larry real quick. Had to get my boy Garrison's thoughts on it. I had to get him to say it.
No, yeah, because that I told you this that one night, right?
Oh my God, you were.
No, Ryan. He this is how I know he got like the real out of me. We're talking Garrison was, man, some proper 12. And I talked to Juju on the phone, man, and I just I let my grievances out, man. I let my true feelings out, and it sucked. Shame on me for letting a Wolverine fan hear my true feelings about my program.
Hey,
shame on
me.
It's
can't let
safe
him
with
get under
me,
your skin
Garrison.
like that.
I think the only thing, look, I remember everything you said. The only thing that I was like, wow, that's crazy, is the 2 players you told us that we don't deserve to get. I won't name them, but that was.
Wait, I said you guys don't deserve to get a certain player.
You said 2 of them, the players that were most certainly, I mean, we're gonna get. You're just like, yeah, y'all.
Oh no, and I will not listen.
I'm not naming names.
Yeah, I'm privy to thankfully, I'm privy to information that I'm not going to release. But y'all don't deserve that shit. Y'all don't deserve that shit. I'll tell you later, Ryan. They don't deserve this shit.
Nah, it's going. We deserve it.
Okay.
We have a $12 million investment. We definitely deserve it. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here so everyone else can get on. I hope you have a good rest of your show, and I hope to see you on the next show if you can make it. If not, I'll talk to you off air, of course. Everyone have a safe 4th of July. Call an Uber. Thank you.
Yes.
Go Blue.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Juju.
Or the 4th of July around the back of a glorious American bald eagle.
Yeah. Just I do want to second what he said. Call.
Yeah, I third that.
Lyft. We don't need another Kirk Barton situation. We really don't. So I don't know if our next caller is ready or not. I don't see him in the frame, so I don't want to bring him on yet. Oh, there he is. Okay.
I kind of want to ban Juju, but I don't want to do it.
No, you can't do that. All right, I'll go ahead and bring in the next caller.
Yeah, bring in Ben.
Hello. The
What's
Hey
going
Tim, what's
on,
going
the
on?
one
man?
my face not up there. The one my
I don't
on
know.
my
I don't know
Oh,
what's
face
here we
not
go,
happening
up
Tim.
here.
I
there.
got you, Tim. I got you, Tim.
There you go.
Oh
Okay.
But,
hey.
hey, Tim, there's something in your background, bro. I heard
Huh?
Yeah, we're getting
feedback. Can you
feedback.
change that?
Do you have the audio on somewhere else?
Okay, I changed it, huh?
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, that's better. I can't hear myself. So, oh, I can still hear it. Never
Well,
mind.
You still can hear it?
Yeah, I can still hear the reverberation.
yeah. See if you can fix it. Like reload it, all right?
Okay.
But shoot, real
Yeah,
quick
he had
here.
that one.
Did you
One more time.
I have a question for you. And by the way, everyone, put all your questions, comments, anything you want to talk about in the chat or call in. Love to have you. Some of you Buckeye fans in here, like you, Richie. But
Yeah.
just like, me
Do
and
that
Richie
before I
beef
got
a
to
lot. I
split.
noticed that. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I can't forget about that.
Yeah, I'll be splitting a little bit early here. I got not leaving yet, but well,
Tim,
Tim, I think we still got that.
yeah, bro. Hey,
I think we still got it.
you have it open and
Do you have it on
another
multiple tabs?
places.
No.
That's weird.
Do you have any earbuds or headphones?
Yeah.
Put those on. We'll bring you back up. But I saw something today. I was watching Mark's show and he has Steve Beast on today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I should have screenshot and showed you, but he ranks. He has like his whole composite of how he ranks the teams in the Big Ten. And in there, for quarterback ranking, he had Ohio State 10, and he had the Wolverines at 9.
Yeah, it's absurd.
And let's bring 10 back up. We can talk about it later. Let's bring 10 back up.
Yeah, bring it back in.
Hello.
Tim,
I think it's
Does
better.
that sound better?
I think
there
we're
we
good.
go.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
We're good.
I looked at that Oju his his 4 schools, and he still got Michigan at one of the 4 schools to choose from.
Yeah, it's on the graphic, but it's really between Ohio State and Texas, and really it's Texas.
No. Wait. I'm not saying that. Screw Matthew Miller. I'm not saying that. Ohio State's in this. You know what? No. Because you know what? I'm getting tired of Matthew coming in here and spreading that Texas burnt orange, horns down propaganda. No. I think Ohio State can land this. It's just about how much can we pray. That's all it's about. How much prayer can we get in?
They got 16 hours to figure something out. What else you got for us, Tim?
What about that 5-star receiver? He going to our school or Syracuse?
You talking about Calvin Russell?
Yeah, because he wants to play basketball, not just football at college, and that's kind of strange.
He ain't playing basketball.
How that going to work?
Multiple recruits have tried to do that. Like Matt Patansky, someone Ohio State was interested for half a second, wants to play baseball also with football. But come on, at this level, you got to go one sport. Yeah,
we got a defensive tackle right now who he had to make that decision, and thankfully he can go. Hopefully he can go on the field this year because he's not too busy trying to work on his batting average and his ERA.
May not have been the right decision based on what we've seen from him, or haven't seen from him.
Yeah, but the Michigan basketball coach was talking about he too tall to not play both. Did not play both.
Damn, he's too smart to not play both like this. Yeah, in today's, if this is like the, I'll give you a good example. Terrell Pryor was the #1 football recruit in the nation and a top 50 basketball recruit. He never played a lick of basketball at Ohio State. Not a lick. It's too hard, especially in today's era. It's just too tough. And if I was talking to any recruit, I would vehemently tell them you can't do that. So,
especially a 5-star kid.
what this our wide receivers is good. They good where he may have the red shirt, and he like I ain't sitting on the bench. I might as well the play with Dusty May than start my first year, my sophomore year, if that happened.
Tim,
If he
you know
would
you're my
choose
guy.
Michigan, if he were to choose
Go
Michigan,
ahead,
he
Ryan.
would have to go to. He would have to play right away. Michigan's receivers are not good enough, or he would be sitting the bench. Like the rest of the roster's not good enough. Let's be real.
And let me tell you right now, okay? No 5-star wide receiver that comes to that god awful wide receiver room you guys have is going to sit the bench. He's going to play.
Yeah, but we
And yes,
we
JTT was a D1 recruit. He met with Chris Holtman, but that was never going to happen, Rod. He was never going to play basketball for us.
Yeah, we don't know. They could prove us wrong. The freshman receivers and the receiver from last year, because we got Bryce, they may prove us wrong, but we don't know. So how do y'all feel about the words that came out of J.J. Smith's mouth?
He's right.
About
feel great about him.
He can't lose. He can't lose. He talking about he devouring for the people up there or down there.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing wrong with what he said. I think Ohio State knows that. I think they've kind of turned a corner when it comes to the rivalry. When it came to actually changing their offensive philosophy and actually, play calling things aggressive, when they've got, the best wide receiving core in the country, that's what they did in the CFP. That's why they won the national championship. I don't think they're going to get stuck in the same rut as they did last year against Michigan. But
we all know that.
Michigan, so that makes things
we
hard.
all know that they come into the game with 0 losses. They either win or lose. They still in the playoffs, but they might go to the championship. Okay, so they come in there with 1 loss. And they win. They going to Indy. But they lose. They got they still want. They're not going to the Indy. And they're going to the playoffs. Okay, if they come in there with 2 losses,
Ohio State's not coming in there with 2 losses.
Let's say, but if they did and they do lose, but they can kiss they back-to-back title goodbye. If they did,
in that scenario, you would be right. I don't think that's going to happen. But I do got to bounce here, unfortunately. So Harrison's going to go ahead and run this the rest of the way. I'll see you on Monday, and it was good talking to you, Tim. I'll see you next week, I'm sure.
See you, Ryan. Happy 4th, man.
See you. You too, man.
Thank you.
Do you know the 2 fellas that does the Big Ten Rivalry show?
Yeah. You talking about? Oh my God, I should be forgetting that thing. You're talking about Cliff and oh shoot, he's gonna kill me. Yeah,
the end of the month, we might be doing a show together. The end of the month.
You should. During the season, or last season, I hope to do it this season too. But I do join their show. A few of us guys from the Boys of College Football do. Myself, Justin from the Nebraska Boys of College Football. We join on there and talk all Big Ten stuff. It's a great time.
I seen that show. I seen that one. And what you said?
But you're gonna be doing that soon? On the show?
No. It's gonna be on my show.
Oh, all right. Hold on 1 second. What are you guys gonna be talking about?
We don't know yet. We just now we're working on it to see what everybody will be available at the end of the month. It's a process, but I did see that little skit you said, but Then 3 days later, you came out in I guess your buddy Dan or whatever, your buddy Ryan, he made you apologize. I guess.
Wait. When was this?
You was on okay, but this was the week of Ohio State versus the Michigan game, and you went and you was on Mac and then you was talking about you took over the show and you said some things that you kind of regretted.
Oh, you mean
Regretted.
like like hellfire and brimstone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, man. The Lord is no respecter of persons, and neither am I. So hey, listen, man. When I'm wrong, I will go out of my way to tell people I'm wrong. I do love the quote. Be as loud as you are in your praise as you are in your
The show with the Michigan quarterback and the Alabama and the Auburn dudes, those three dudes.
Mm-mm.
They had a guest on the show, Pete, Josh, and the Alabama dude and the Auburn dude. They think that they had this debate that should Michigan versus Ohio State should that continue to be the number one rivalry of all of sports, or should the Iron Bowl should that be the number one rivalry on all in sports? And they got into an argument, and Josh Peck, he kind of agreed with the former Michigan quarterback. They were talking about okay, the original the origins of the rivalry. They got to a argument that who should own Toledo before American football was even invented. So that's how the rivalry started. The other two fellas that went to Alabama and Auburn, they were arguing that all the times that Michigan was getting blown out, and all the times that Ohio State was getting blown out. They said that during those years, all they saw was the Alabama. They mostly winning at home, and Auburn they winning every other year. They had a home game against them. Yeah, but they were talking about that 20-year run that both teams had went. 20-year run that Michigan had went in the 80s and the 90s. They said that, but during those years, they saw a back and forth like Alabama and Auburn, but they kept winning and losing back and forth. Then, but then they said the 2000s and the 2010s, they saw the same thing, but this time Ohio State they might have lost about 2 or 3 times, and during that same time span, they saw the Alabama they only winning most of the home games, and when they had to go on the road to Auburn, the Auburn was winning a lot of the home game, so they were having the argument. So who should be the number one and who should be the number two? I feel like the history had already told us who's number one and who's number two, and we just need to keep it like that. But I guess that they feel like they tired of being number two. The two fellas
Yo.
that watched that watched their team play in the Iron Bowl. But how would how would you feel if somebody they asked you that same question, an Alabama fan or somebody from Auburn, and they ask you they tell you that the Iron Bowl rivalry is way better than the game. How would you feel or react? You heard that from somebody from Alabama or Auburn.
So first off, Tim, I'm going to answer your question, and thank you for calling. I got to bring you down here because I do have to do a read after I answer your question, but I am going to answer your question real quick. I'm going to bring you down, but I'm still going to answer it. The name of this channel is called Ohio State Primetime Live. This is the Ohio State channel. This is Big Ten country here, all right? So I don't care what anyone south of the Mason-Dixon line has to say about rivalry games. I don't give a damn how they feel about their 120 weather heat with their big bugs. I don't care about any of that. I got family down in Alabama. I got a lot of Alabama fans in my family. Don't care. Don't give a ish. Auburn's irrelevant. They are very relevant. Good recruiting class right now. Very irrelevant right now. Mind you, I mean, their national championship they had with Cam Newton, the rest of that team sucked. I think a few years after that, only Cam Newton and yeah, he's the only player in the NFL after that. So, no, I do believe Ohio State and the team up north it's the best. The game is the best rivalry in sports. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close. The only second I will give is North Carolina Duke. And then because I am a EPL fan, I would say I'm biased. Tottenham and screw the Arsenal. But no. The Iron Bowl has nothing on the game. There's a reason why it's called the game. It's that simple. Not else to call it. But Tim, I appreciate you, man. But before we continue, everybody, message here from the voice of college football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brands to the next level by partnering with the voice of college football. Let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, that being Win Agency, posted here on the screen, and we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships at vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at vocfb.com today. So we're gonna bring up our next caller. Rob, where'd you go? But I'm gonna bring up my boy Richie called. That's what I'm talking about. My man Rich, man, what's going on with you, bro?
What's up, Garrison? How are you, man?
Nah, man, I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. Where you out to?
I'm going to the gym, man. It's gonna be a late one, but I don't like to go this late, but you know, better than not going, man. You know.
No, I feel you, bro. What's on your mind there? What you gotta talk about with me?
Bro, I want to talk about recruiting. Look, man, we're not getting Ojo. And I don't think we need Ojo.
I can agree with you. Okay, keep going.
So, but I want to kind of talk about Ohio State's overall recruiting philosophy, which I love, by the way. I love that they don't break the bank on any one recruit. But here's the thing. I do think we have to recruit relative to how the top programs are recruiting. And I don't mean Texas A&M. I don't care if Texas A&M out recruits us or, bro, programs like this. But when it comes to Carter Meadows and it comes down to Ohio State and Michigan, and we're getting outbid. And here's the thing, none of us, we don't know the numbers. We don't really understand what's really going on with recruiting. I mean, we can follow the reports, but if it's true we're getting outbid by Michigan for Carter Meadows, and we already have more commitments in our class, so maybe our budget was a little more strapped, or we just can't lose recruits like Carter Meadows to Michigan. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, part of the problem in that. Go ahead, Richie.
And I don't think it's a LJ problem. I don't. I think this is 100% an NIL thing, because Wafel wanted to, from all accounts, Wafel wanted to be a Buckeye, and Southern Cal came in and knocked the socks off with an offer, bro. So I don't think this is a Larry Johnson problem at all. I know he's getting up there a little bit, but I just think when it comes to recruiting, and really, we probably should have done whatever we needed to do to hang on to Alan Clark too. That's another thing, though. So.
No. I think that's where I want to start there. Okay. So again, I do have to put most of the blame on Larry, because you are paid $1.7 million, right? But I also can't turn away from the operation, like you were pointing out. When you after the national championship, Richie, we paid a lot of guys. We brought in a lot of assistants. We gave guys new jobs. Well, Alan Clark was still an assistant, and he shouldn't have been. So what is Texas? Texas still has a defensive line coach, but they made him the edge coach, the edge defensive end coach, right? We could have done that for him. We could have. I think a lot of people thought that Larry was going to go off into the sunset, and he didn't. All right, boo-hoo, whatever. But at some point, like, it's a trickle-down effect. I'm going to look at Ryan Day. I do think you had to put an emphasis on that. That's your job. B, actually, I'll go 1B, our GM. You are over the operation, are you not? So you have to do that. And so when I see that, and I know these other factors to it, I can't just go and throw it at Larry Johnson. When it comes to guys like Carter Meadows, I'm someone who never thought we were going to get him, because we were late in that recruitment. I think about maybe 2 months ago, I thought he was going to the team up north, and then after the visit, I knew he was going there. So, and then like I'm gonna pull this up here, like, and we talk about the money and all that. I mean, bro, when you look at Ohio State's class, right, you can kind of see where the money went in the class. You're talking Chris Henry Jr., you're talking Blaine Bradford, one of the best players and safeties in the country in this class. You got Sincere Johnson, you got Simeon Caldwell, who's probably going to move down a linebacker. And then not only do you have modern day's top receiver, you go and get his teammate in Caden Dixon-Wyatt, which you had to pay to get Caden Dixon-Wyatt. On top of that, you talked about us not needing Ojo. I agree with you. I thought it was a great point. We do have Sam Greer. We do have Maxwell Riley. Mind you, Sam Greer's a dog. That's a 6'8", 315. We all saw what he did at the 7-on-7. On top of that, man, and then once you get further down, I mean, Favor Key, you see Jordan Thomas. Jordan Thomas, I'm very confident. If you go to the composite, he's actually higher on this. But I'm very confident saying that we had to pay for him. And he's gonna be and I think he's gonna be really a good DB for us. But no, I agree with you, man. Ohio State doesn't have a getting bidding wars, and nor should they. But I do think that, when we look at guys like Felix Ojo, we look at guys like Luke Wolf, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that I would never get in a bidding war for him. I don't think he's a bidding war player.
Right, but, I agree. But what about Dylan Stewart? See,
bro, I would give my right hand for Dylan Stewart.
Exactly. See, here's the thing. Now, some positions, man, we might not have to get into bidding wars, but clearly we have to pay a premium for D linemen, and I don't know. I just don't know what the strategy is at D line for paying some of these edges, bro. I just either we don't understand, we don't know, like we underestimated the market for edges, or regardless, we're just not willing to pay a certain amount for edges. But I don't know. This seems risky. This strategy seems risky. Look, I agree with you on Waif, but it just seems like the overall strategy, though. It doesn't seem like it's particular to Wafel or particular to Meadows. It just seems like this is the strategy regardless of position. And there's clearly a premium on D-line, especially edges.
Both sides of the ball, O-line and D-line. There's an extreme premium right now.
O-line and D-line. I do feel like you can maybe find more dogs at O-line, under the radar guys, than you can at D-line. And maybe that was just Justin Fry, man. I feel like we took Justin Fry for granted. I hope, listen, I really hope Bowen is the same caliber of actual coach that Justin Fry was. Justin Fry did his thing, man.
No, Justin Fry, man, for all of his recruiting woes, he was one of the best developers of offensive linemen in college football. Right. But where I do have some like confidence in Bowen is that he is in most of his career, he's been the run game coordinator for at Penn State, or he was at Penn State. So he has shown that he is able to make that work. If not, maybe not. I wouldn't say he knows how to develop offensive linemen, but he knows where to put them on the field, right? And where to get the run game going. So that does make me happy in knowing that. Let me ask you a question. Because a little off recruiting here. What are some position battles that you think are going to take place for this team over the fall?
Right away is Hartford and McLean. I think people are kind of sleeping on Hartford, man. I don't know. I kind of like I know McLean can hit, but I like safeties that can really hit, man. You know what I mean? And I think Hartford is a dog, man. The nickel, I think people are sleeping on Miles Lockhart a little bit. He was literally brought here to play nickel. So we'll see with the nickel. The nickel is wide open, man. Other position battles, we got to see if I know BI is wide receiver 3. But man,
I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
Dude,
say. I know what you're gonna say.
Mylan Graham is a dog, man. Mylan Graham is a dog, and I would almost hate to see, and I don't think this is gonna happen. I would almost hate to see Mylan Graham beat out BI, but I think he's better. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. So I've been on the Mylan Graham hype train for a while. I actually had a shout out to my best friend Lawson Luckett, man. I actually had a conversation with him today. He's a big Wolverine fan, but we were talking about Mylan. He thinks Mylan's that guy. He's my buddy. He played college wide receiver, so he knows that position very well. I actually, when Chris Olave was a 3-star, he's the one who called me and said, "No, that's the guy right there." So first off, I think BI, they play 2 different positions, but I do think that Mylan Graham is kind of like he reminds me of Garrett Wilson, where I can throw him anywhere on the field. Where I don't want to say I'm disagreeing with you on anything you're saying, because I'm not technically. Brandon Ennis is going to be Well, I think he's probably going to be after the season, people are going to see him as one of the best route runners in college football.
Yeah, I can see that.
Coming out of high school, he is seen as one of the best players to ever come out of South Florida, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, he was the #1 receiver in his class.
Mm-hmm. And people forget, Brandon Ennis, his senior year, played quarterback for his team because the quarterback got hurt. So usually, in high school, you got to put your best athlete there, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I'm really excited to see Brandon because he has that dog in him, a lot of bark and a lot of bite. Really crisp route runner. Not the most athletic guy, but we did see last year when he caught a ball and scampered to the end zone, no one touched him, right?
I know.
So he has that ability. And then, I mean, I think Brandon Ennis, bro, is going to be around the 400 to 500 yard mark. I think he's going to be that guy that when things break down, Brandon Ennis will be open. I promise you that. And on top of that, man, I mean, this is one of the things I'm really looking forward to watching Ohio State, and a lot of this has to do with Max Clare. But I want to see how teams bracket Jeremiah, lead 6'3", 190-pound route running Carnell Tate on one person.
Right.
Leave someone there with Max Clare, and then you gotta hope and pray that your nickel is quick enough or just at least good enough to stay with Brandon Ennis when he's making his breaks out of his routes.
Right.
I've always, my boy Lawson always told me, man, like, actually, do you remember a wide receiver named Willie Snead Jr.?
Willie Snead, yeah. He was like albino.
For the Saints.
Yeah, he played for the Saints.
Yeah. So listen to this fun story here. I got to play against him my sophomore year in high school. He went to Holland Christian. The year previously, him and his dad moved up from Florida. For everybody that doesn't know, Willie Snead Sr. was the high school coach of San Antonio Home. But I got to play him. But Willie Snead ran a 4.7, 4.8. But he was so damn good at running routes. It doesn't matter if my route running is better than you. And I play college corner. If I'm running at you and I'm running a little bit faster because you're backpedaling, and my routes are crisp or better than you breaking out your route, it doesn't matter how fast I am. I'm gonna beat you. So I think that's what Brandon has.
I don't know if Brandon Ennis is I don't know if BI is a better route runner than Mylan Graham. That's the problem. But look.
Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Regardless, I'm pretty confident. I think we'll be good regardless at receiver.
Yes.
O-line is Philip Daniels, is he like dude, is Philip Daniels gonna start? I don't think Philip Daniels is gonna start.
No, I think the lineup from left to right is gonna be Anianwa, Luke Montgomery, future All-American, Carson Hinsman, center, of course. And you know, I mean, and the thing is, I mean, Richie, over a month ago, they said,
what's a Searville?
Searville, yeah, thank you, Searville. They said that he's going to start no matter what. Because Searville can play tackle or guard. It don't matter. I think at that point, they're just trying to figure out, Tegra, have you developed? And Philip, are you ready? I'm going to decide on Tegra's going to start and has developed. And that at right tackle, you're going to see Searville. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
I think this offensive line is going to be a Joe Moore Award finalist. And
I think they're going to have to be.
Yeah. And the cool part about it all is, you know, with Philip Daniels sitting out a year, and that's okay, there's a big chance, I mean, outside of, because, Ani was a senior. So everyone else is going to return next season. And we already have the left tackle set for next year. More than likely, is going to be
Carlo.
Carlo. So I mean, we're going to see what happens, man. But I like what this offensive line has right now. And with Philip Daniels Philip Daniels is good to have as an additional piece, right? In case something happens, he's right there, and I think you can move him around the offensive line, so outside of center. So yeah, I'm really happy with him being on the team.
I think Philip Daniels only a sophomore, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah.
Everyone on that team is a redshirt junior or less.
Yeah. Man, the O line has to be because man, we can't let Sayin get killed. Dude, man, the O line is gonna have fits against Texas. Dude, I hope not.
Hey Richie,
Dude,
you didn't hear Richie here. I'm gonna let you go, brother, because you gotta go get your workout. You got the pre-workout in already?
Yeah, I do actually. It's right
yeah.
here, brother. I'm just drinking.
There we
now
go. So I want to read this to you, Richie, and it might give you some solace and some confidence heading into that game against Texas. Okay?
I'm confident. Whoa, I'm confident.
Oh no, I'm gonna give you more
I'm
confidence.
actually gonna bet it. I'm gonna bet it, bro. I'm gonna bet a decent.
Well, what you're gonna put the mortgage on it?
No, not the mortgage.
No. But I want to read this to you, Richie. So this is Texas' offensive line, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Gooseby at left tackle, 328 snaps. Left guard Umazulu, 166 snaps. Now their center Hudson, 1,300 snaps. That's pretty good, but in PFF grain of salt, 61.5 PFF score. So we'll see. Right guard Campbell only got returning, but he's a dog. And then at right tackle, you have Brandon Baker, who is a high recruit. Ohio State won him. He only has 65 snaps, and the guy behind him has less than 10. And mind you, I talked to a bunch of Texas fans today. It sounds like Brandon Baker's more upset, more worried about having a wife at the age of 19 than playing college football. So
okay, really quick, I'll say this and I'm gone.
Sure.
Our D line has almost the same experience, Garrison. That's the.
But you know what the cool part is? You know what the cool part is though? It's much easier to tell your D lineman to go out there and get it than tell your O line on the first game ever, hey, go have some continuity in Ohio Stadium.
Right, on the road.
But you are right about that. You are right about that.
So we'll see, man. And also, too, bro, we need Jason Moore and Will Smith Jr. and Ziggy, what's his name?
Malone.
Eric Mensa, Taiwan Malone. Bro, these guys are like the key to the season, bro. So
they are?
I really hope, man, one or two of these guys step up in a major way. If they do, I think we can have a hell of a season, bro.
I'm right with you, Richie, man. I'm right with you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Garrison,
you have a good workout.
With you, man. Later,
hey,
brother.
Man, happy 4th of July, brother.
Same to you. Be safe, man.
My man, you too.
Peace, bro. Peace, man.
Man, shout out to my guy, Richie, man. Always a good conversation with him. Here, I'm going to go through some of these comments real quick. And by the way, everybody, if you want, I can keep the show going if you would like to. I put the link in there if you want to call in. Please do. Love to talk football with you. Let's see. I saw this earlier. Tree Dog says, I don't know if I like babyface Garrison as much as heel Garrison on Michigan shows. Yeah, shut up. Get out of here, Tree Dog. Get out of here. Garrison and Berks Alliance is one of the greatest alliances ever created. That's a fact. That is a fact. Penn State Sports Talk. By the way, Penn State Sports Talk. I'm really happy that you're here because for a very long time at the Boys College Football Michigan channel, they kept thinking that I was like this. You were my burner account, but I did want to let them know that as a Buckeye, I am way too good to be a Penn State burner account. So see you guys this year, and let's see if you guys can actually beat us this time. But he says Garrison's smaller than all of you guys. That is a fact. That is a fact. Michael Dallas fan Campbell. By the way, Dallas, I'm a Cowboys fan too, bro. When are we getting Dak out of here? Brandon Ennis isn't a cookie cutter receiver. He's comfortable everywhere. That I agree with you. I do think he's primarily there, but I do think you could put him around because he's such a gamer. Like it doesn't matter, bro. Like his routes are so crisp, it doesn't matter. He can get open no matter what. Shout out to my boy Day 1K. He says, B, I lost a lot of weight. He was chubby last year. He's moving better now. He is. Day 1, I'm gonna assume You saw that drill he had today, man. Like on that video, boy, he was. I like seeing that because if you remember last year in the playoffs when I think I always get the game wrong. I think it was the Notre Dame game when he broke that Notre Dame cornerback off, bro. Just got wide open. That was beautiful. It wasn't Notre Dame. That wasn't Notre Dame. That was Texas. That was Texas. Shout out to my man Antoine Johnson. What about them trenches, Garrison? Hey, look, Antoine Johnson. I'm very confident on Ohio State's trenches this year. Of course, Ohio State, we brought back the interior from the playoffs last season that dominated Notre Dame's D-line, dominated. I won't say they dominated Texas O-line, but they held their own interior-wise. Oregon had one of the best defensive lines last year, and they did a thing there. And, of course, Tennessee did also, and they molly-whopped them. We bring in Anianwo, who's one of the most sought-after offensive linemen out of the portal last year, one that Michigan actually wanted, and one that you would want right now, Antoine, because the word on the road is your left tackle spot is a shit show. So there's that. And on D-line, look, man, we got Kenyatta Jackson Jr. I'm very confident in him. I'm very confident what Bo Atkinson brings over from North Carolina. And also him being with Larry, he's going to get some development there. In the top two spots at the tackle spot, you're talking K. McDonald and Edric Houston, two big Georgia boys. Happy to have them there. Now at the edge position, we have some new names there, but I'm not upset about that. I'm very confident what we have at the edge spot. But of course, as you just heard from Richie, man, what's behind them with Eric Menza, Will Smith Jr., he goes between an edge and defensive tackle. Then you have guys like Tom Malone and Jason Moore. We still got to see what comes out of them. And I'm holding out hope that those guys show us. We did our interview with Luke Montgomery. And for everyone that hasn't seen it yet, go check it out. It's on the Voice Casserole, myself and my guy, Cleve Mike. We interviewed Ohio State left guard Luke Montgomery. He told us that guys like Will Smith Jr. and Jason Moore have been playing really well. They did in the spring. So I'm really excited to see what happens there. Shout out to my guy, Burks, and Quincy Porter is going to be good. Oh, Quincy Porter is going to be a dog. He's going to, in 2026, man, like, I think three of Ohio State's receivers are going to be 6'4", like 6'3", 6'4" and up, bro. It's going to be crazy. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And shout out to all the old block members, guys, if you would like to join. You look right here, our memberships for the old block membership. Then the JT wasn't short, and we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. During the upcoming season, we will be having more content, a lot of interviews that are coming down the pipeline. I'm really excited about. So please, guys, if you would like, and this is nothing that you have to do. The only thing that we ask for you to do is like, share, and subscribe to the channel and to the network. And that is as much as we need, and we really appreciate you guys for that. Right here, Berg says, Garrison, some Michigan fans are missing you. Please support Garrison, the most smartest Buckeye I know, or I think he is. I think I am too, Berg. I think I am too. I appreciate that, bro. Man, I really do. Also, everyone, and the question for today is, what is there that you would like to see Ohio, or what questions do you have about the Ohio State team, or what do you want to see this fall from the Ohio State team? Also, what position battles do you think are going to be out there? Let's see. I want to read this real quick. My old Dallas fan says, Texan with a running QB is a huge problem for Ohio State week 1. It's not easy to handle a dual threat with Sark, who has more plays in his bag with Arch Manning. No, and that's fair. That's fair. But again, like I just read off all the snap counts for the Texas offensive line, and Texas has good development at the position, but that's going to be the first game they have. And look, if go ahead and run Arch if you want to. I'm pretty sure he had multiple concussions last year. One of them being the Ohio State game, where we actually did knock him out of the game. So they didn't bring him back in, and they got lucky because he did fumble that football. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll go through some of these before I get out of here, everybody. Rogers PSU down so bad their fans go to OSU chats and Flex losing to Indy. You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. Boys, this BI didn't been in the lab. People sleep on. They are. Just shout out to KW, man. Good to see you in here. Exactly, it's going to take a few years to find out. Was there really a big difference between the players we got and the ones we missed on rankings matter, but they're not etched in stone. That is correct. I've hated Dak Prescott for over 7 years. I'm not fanatic with Cowboys. The Cowboys campaigns didn't like my words. I'm right here with you, bro. I've been asked for Dak's job for 5, 6 years now. Hey, Rob, man, if you want to call in, brother, you still can. Hold up. Are you still here, bud? I'll put it back in if you would like to. But I'll put it right back here for you, Rob. You know I love talking to you, brother. But by the way, everybody, some content that's coming. Earlier today, myself and Sam from Kosovo with Sam, we talked about, and I love Sam's content because he's one of the most unbiased people I know. He talks about Michigan, he talks about the whole landscape. But I'm releasing it on Sunday. We talked about the difference between Urban's era and going into Ryan Day's era, and which era is actually better for Ohio State. So can't wait to get that out to you guys. Rufus Michael Go Bucks says, "Go Bucks!" Oh yes, sir. Go Bucks! OHIO. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna bring up my guy Rob from Buckeye Battle Cry. Rob, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How's it going, dude?
Man, it's going, man. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, happy 4th of July, man. Just my wife and we're out here in Oklahoma for the summer, so it's been really nice to get out of Michigan for a while. Yeah, we're just kicking it with family, dude. My brother and his wife, they didn't want to put their kid in the Y because I guess they put him in front of a TV pretty much almost all summer. And so they're like, "Hey, you guys want to come down here? We'll pay you to watch my nephew's name is Raphael. So yeah, we're down here watching him. My mom's down here as well. So
nice.
It's gonna be a great summer. But
shout to Raphael, man.
Huh?
I said shout to Raphael.
Yeah, definitely. He's a Boomer Sooner.
My dad was actually a Sooner fan until he went to Ohio State. So I think that's pretty common, honestly. There's a lot of Sooner fans around the world. But what's up, bro?
Dude, I can, Peter and I, we made a video about this literally yesterday. I cannot stand the hypocrisy, dude, in terms of Michigan fans and NIL. It's just like, it's a complete 180, dude. It doesn't make sense. It's like they literally forget that they were the ones who were bashing on NIL because they were butthurt because they couldn't maximize it and utilize it. No, it's the worst thing ever. Ohio State's mercenary you. They're going to end up like Texas A&M and just not win a natty. And it's just like, okay, keep the same energy because before NIL, you were not able to hit on all the players that they've been getting. And literally, I wouldn't be surprised if they got Calvin Russell and they got Savion Hyder and just like, okay, look at how they're getting these players. They're literally, it's who's the biggest bidder. And Michigan has. So again, keep that same energy about you may end up like Texas A&M, a team that's just there for the money. And when the first bit of controversy hits, they just fold like a bunch of lawn chairs. So, dude, I can't stand it, man. I had to call it out, but I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I'm right with you. So I'm actually happy you brought this to me because I've kind of like stayed away from it because I just don't like. I just been whatever, But you are completely correct on this. A few years, what was it? Built, not bought. Was their slogan?
Yeah, that was after the natty.
Yeah, which I found hilarious because I always ask Wolverine fans, and they say, "Oh yeah, well you guys bought all these players last season." In 2022, the Wolverines brought in, I believe, about 10 or more transfers. 10 or more transfers. And I said to myself, you think all those are free? You want to sit here and tell me, and I'm looking at you, Phil, down there too. You want to tell me with your lying eyes that those 10 plus transfers are all free? There's nothing in life. No, nothing in life today is for free. So, except for Buckeye championships because we get those for free. But I did think it was funny. Like because it is a complete flip flop from what they said prior to, right? Because as we know, the you know, we're both born and raised in the state of Michigan, are we not?
Yeah, definitely.
So we're privy to a lot of things that a lot of Buckeyes aren't firsthand, right? I can't tell you. Look, we know how Michigan fans are, or some of them are sanctimonious, holier than thou, do it all the right way. And so it was funny, you know, just to see them, you know, say, man, look at the money. Shout out to my boy TJ. Shout out to him and Queen Jolene. Throwing money around, TJ. Throwing money around. Now you want to talk about it, huh? Well, actually, TJ's been on NIL. He's been wanting NIL for a very long time, so I will give him that. But the masses, you know, they were very, very, you know, they're very heavy on built not bought, and now they just want to completely turn the switch. And you know, it's fine. You know, do what you guys want to do, but don't get mad when it gets called out.
Yeah, and you know, it just addressing the Michigan fans who commented on my video, and they just like one of them literally just said, "You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house." I'm like, what are you talking about? Ohio State has embraced NIL since day one. You people have literally hated on it since day one, and literally. I remember when they got Bryce Underwood and I tuned in to the Michigan Voice of College Football, and everybody was on there saying, "Oh, take big bank, little bank," and here's the phrase they always use, and nobody does it better than us. Get your money up, and just like, dude, when I saw the graphic recently of Ryan Day at a table and Sharon Moore at a table, and Sharon Moore's table is filled with all this cash, and Ryan Day was sitting there with a sad face, and there was like a little to no cash on there. I'm like, dude, literally, this is literally the fan base who has the biggest case of amnesia that I've ever seen. They make these comments and then they just forget about it. It goes away as if it never happened. And you know what? I'm gonna call this right now, Garrison. Here's another thing they're gonna forget about. Right now, they're walking around saying, you know, Ohio State benefited from the 12-team playoff. It was a watered down playoff. They didn't deserve it. You know, they got saved because it got expanded 12 teams. But here's what's gonna happen when Michigan is given the same grace, and if they go on to win the Natty the same way, they're going to say it's the greatest playoff run ever, and they're going to say that it's the 12-team playoff it's the greatest thing. Why are OSU fans crying? And it's like, no, we're not crying. We're just we just kept receipts, and we're bringing up exactly what you guys said about the 12-team playoff, dude. You can't even reason.
I'll tell you what, Rob, but I'm gonna bring in Phil here because I gotta go soon, but there's a quote I have. I've been saying it. I think I started saying this when Bryce and I started the Scarlet and Blue show. Michigan fans say things without realizing what they're actually saying, and it reigns true today. But I appreciate you, Rob, man. I'll talk to you soon, man. Everyone, go all Buckeyes. Go check out Buckeye Battle Cry with him and my guy Pete, man. Awesome show. They do awesome work over there. Great Buckeye talk. Rob, appreciate you, brother. Talk to you soon.
Later, brother.
Now, I've been waiting for my friend to call in here. We've been waiting for a long time, so I'm gonna bring in one of the Wolverine Avengers. I'm not sure which one he is. I think he's. I'm gonna be mean. What's up, man? What's up, my man M3, Maze Madman, Phil?
What's going on?
What's up, brother?
It's good to be here.
Right?
I'm great, man.
I'm happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. You know what? I'm congratulations again. This is a big step and a big platform, and you deserve that. So, congratulations to you.
That means a lot, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
So by the way, your name looks really good in Scarlet, by the way.
That looks disgusting. That's why I can't even look at it. I want to puke. I just got a couple points, and I know you got to get out of here.
No. You're my last call, man. I got you.
Yeah. First thing I want to know: when did the alliance start? I don't know. You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that.
No. The alliance. No. The first off, the Garrison Burst alliance is strong, and it started about over a month ago when Wolverine fans on other shows. Not that it was the host of the shows, because the host of the shows are my friends. I love those guys. But we got people in the chat who they don't know ball, and as someone who is born and raised in the state of Michigan, I can sit here and tell you a lot of people in the state of Michigan don't know ball. The alliance is strong.
All right. Secondly, because that was just I was just having some fun with that. But secondly, shout out to Rob, who was just here in Buckeye Battle Cry. Be sure to check out his channel and what they got going on over there. By the way, Rob is a Michigan grad, which is insane that he is a Buckeye fan. But shout out to him. You
want a quick short story?
Yeah.
So my little sister, her junior year of high school, had gotten a basketball scholarship to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, the next year they changed coaches and they pulled her scholarship.
Really?
One of the happiest days of my life.
Wow. Yeah,
great school though. Great, best, a top public university in America.
Absolutely. All right. But there was some mention of the 12 team. This is what I really want to say. This is what I really have to say. Everything that Michigan fans say about Ohio State fans, and this is something I think where perspective is needed, and where using your big brain is needed here. When Michigan was down bad in terms of NIL, and I know the state of Michigan, especially at the inception of NIL, wasn't necessarily helping the universities in Michigan. They eventually got on board, and things are different now. But anyway, before that happened, Michigan fans could only look at universities like the other state, like Georgia and whoever else, Texas, with envy, by the way, because they were spending in a way that Michigan couldn't spend. Whether it was for lack of money or because it was legislation, right? Whatever it was. So just being a logical person, I thought to myself, hey, and by the way, I also don't think it's fair to take a portion of a group and then blanket statement like, oh, all of Michigan, the Michigan fans were railing against NIL and now they all celebrate NIL or whatever, right? Because I wasn't one of those people. I've always kind of been on the side of, like, if you got it, spend it, and the players deserve to be paid. I've always said that. I've been on that train. With that said, if the roles were reversed, the same thing would be said. I feel like people don't spend enough time with that, right? Because right now, that's what's being said. If I turn on an Ohio podcast, not necessarily this one, but if I turn on something else, they're saying, oh, Michigan is spending money. They're even trying to rationalize, in a negative way, why Michigan is spending money now. Oh, it's not against the rules, but it could get funny. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, bro. What are you talking about? You had a $20.5 or a $20 million roster last year before this whole thing. And by the way, I know that you guys' roster wasn't the most expensive. We don't have to go down that road. But again, I don't care about that, right? Like, you spent $20 million on a roster. You won a championship. Great, right? And it's just at the core of it, it's just something to like poke fun at maybe once in a while, be like, oh, $20 million roster championship. Now, granted, it was way funnier when you were losing to the likes of a cancer survivor, right? Because at that moment, if you would have told me that Ohio State team was going to go win the national championship, I'd have laughed you out the building, right? And at that moment, $20 million on that roster that that mustered 10 points at home against Michigan was laughable, right? So I just think that not enough is it's not thought out enough, right? Like people get on here and they grandstand and pulpit, and I'm like, bro, but if the shoe were on the other foot, you'd be doing the same thing. And I've admitted that, right? Like I said, by the way, speaking of the 12-team playoff, you guys did benefit from a 12-team playoff. You were the 4th ranked team in the Big Ten at the end of the regular season, right?
Well,
There's no debating that. If you want to debate something else, we can't debate where you were ranked in the Big Ten after the regular season ended, right? That's it. But here's the but.
I think that's like saying that when the Big Ten had the East and the West, that whoever came out the West was the 2nd ranked team in the Big Ten. That's just by default, bro.
Yeah. No, listen, you guys beat Penn State and Indiana in the regular season. But those were their only losses, and you guys had 2 losses in the conference. All right, now, but the point is, yeah, you benefited from it, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you won the national championship, and if we were in that position,
you said again,
Rob, you won the national championship.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have a problem saying that, but if we were in a similar position. By the way, if that happens this year, if somehow Ryan Day beats Michigan at Michigan this year, and we go on to barely get into the playoff and then make a run and win it, guess what I'm going to be doing? Celebrating.
You're gonna say that Ohio State motivated you guys, right?
I'm definitely not saying that. I am saying that we won the national championship. I'm dancing in the streets talking about it. And I just don't feel like, there are real points to be made in terms of the football between the 2 programs. And not so much these like talking points of 12-team playoff, because that's just trolling. We're trolling, saying these sorts of things. Like, and I believe, at least for me, it's just fun and funny. So to say it, and obviously Michigan, when we won the national championship the previous year, we went unblemished. So it's just all championships aren't created equally.
They're not.
They're not.
I am very sure that our championship trophy looks exactly like yours.
Yeah, it may have a few dents in it after your vice president.
Easy, my boy JD, man.
I'm positive it doesn't look like ours right now.
You know what? It might not, because on ours it might say 2014 and 2024, meaning that we've done it twice.
Bro, it doesn't say that. Why would it say that?
I know, but we got 2 of them though. I do know that. I know we got 2 of them.
Yeah,
before you go, I want to have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think your class will finish above Ohio State?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Because I literally have them both between the 5 and 8 range. And 8 range. I have both of them there.
So do I. Right now we have the one thing we have on our side is momentum, but with recruiting that can change quickly. And it does look like we're trending for some great players. But even if we land those players, like if we get, and I'm just going to name 3, if we get Johnson, Russell, Hyder, right? I don't know if that probably bumps us like right around where you are right now. And then we're assuming that you're done, which I don't believe. No. And that we're done, which is also probably not the truth. And we're assuming that neither university suffers from attrition, and by that I mean a flip, which, by the way, we're already we're going to be losing Brody Jennings here, which is going to take away from that class. Right?
What position is he?
Corner.
He's a 4-star, right?
Yeah. He was like one of the first. He's one of the first people to commit.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
But so
you're a Dak Prescott fan?
Who, me? What are you talking about?
Oh no, that's what Michael said.
No, I'm not a Dak Prescott.
Okay, I was gonna,
He's being so. This is what it is, bro. I just think that Dak Prescott is. I just think quarterback isn't Dallas's problem. That's what it is.
say it to a Cowboy fan one more time.
Yeah. A quarterback isn't necessarily your problem. Ownership is your problem. Him being the GM.
Oh, well, I think we lost him right there, everybody. But you know what? On there, I'm gonna end. Oh, there he goes. There we go. There's my guy.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
All right, what were you saying?
I was saying ownership is your biggest problem. Him being the GM is a bigger issue than
Jerry Jones is a national champion winner at Arkansas and a Super Bowl winner. So, and what Dak Prescott is, he's a trust fund baby who came into the league with one of the best offensive lines in NFL history. Zeke Elliott, a defense, and Des Bryant and Jason Witten.
Here's the thing, bro. Before Dak Prescott, Tony Romo had those things. Well, actually, they put that together. Tony Romo got hurt when it was at his peak. But still, Tony Romo had great teams before that.
Not good enough.
Those rosters weren't good enough? Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna start wearing my Tony Romo jersey on the show.
Hold on, because we have to chop this fable. Are you telling me in the rest of the world none of the Tony Romo rosters were good enough to win a Super Bowl? Hey, stop.
Maybe the year the Denver Broncos won it. Maybe that year. So the year prior, maybe that year. But that was the whole reason we drafted Zeke, to protect him, not to protect Dax. All right,
bro. Doesn't Dak have more playoff wins than Tony Romo now?
Not because of him.
Hey, yo, this is. And does Tony Romo playoff? What's he got? One.
I mean, Dak Prescott. Listen, man. Dak Prescott's kind of like a JJ McCarthy, bro. He got everything right around you.
Hey, you gotta chill. First of all, JJ McCarthy and Dak Prescott are completely different animals. Dak Prescott wishes he could be as efficient on third down, especially third and long, as JJ McCarthy was during that championship run. Secondly, though, I gotta say this, bro. You're right about Jerry Jones. He is a champion on both of those levels. However, times change, and he hasn't won. Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, Anthony Carter. Keep naming the quarterbacks. Drew Bledsoe. Keep going. He hasn't won a championship since 1995.
No, 90. Is that? I thought it was 93.
95.
I thought it was 93. Was that 95?
Look at this. This is your team, and I know. So y'all went back to back in 92, 93. Cool. 94, the San Francisco 49ers won, and then Deion flipped to Dallas. Y'all won again.
Bro, listen, bro. I'm a Steelers fan. But shoot, man, I appreciate you calling in, bro.
Yeah,
you know you're my guy, man. Everyone made mad, man. Go follow me. Even the Buckeye fans. It's a friendly show for even Buckeyes over there, guys. So make sure to go check that out. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm pretty sure I'll see you here soon.
Yeah. All right.
All right, bro. All right, everybody. Well, that is the show. We went a little long today, but I'm okay with that. Had a lot of good conversation with people. Love you guys in the comments. Really appreciate you guys showing up here to the Ohio State Call-In Show. Again, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to become a member, please hit the join button and see what we have there. Also, if you'd like to sponsor this channel or the network, please get us the sponsorships at blcfb.com. Again, that's sponsorships at blcfb.com. And as always, OHIO.